toko toko I whenuku, te toko toko I wherangi toki atu.
Sacred spaces in public places. Anei, ngā tohu, tuatahi, tikapa, te ingoa o tēnei pau. Tikapa is the moana that you can claim in your pepeha if you live on this motu. It faces a certain direction, straight out over Tikapa to the main maunga, the mountain of Hauraki, which is Moiho. Moiho was a creature that lived on that mountain, our sacred mountain of Hauraki, many years ago. Te pūtiki o Kahumata Moimoi. That is, if you go to Rangihaua, there is a big rock on the back of Rangihaua, and that is the pūtiki, the top knot of Kahu. Who is Kahu? Kahu is the grandson of Tamasik Te Kapua, captain of the Te Arawa Waka. We will show you where the Te Arawa Waka was relashed in our history on our island. Te pūtiki o Kahu Mata Moimoi, tēnei pau. Piritaha, tēnei pau. Do we know where that is? Ai marika, for sure. That's our maunga behind our marae of Piritahi, meaning together as one. Piritahi is our marae, mō ngā iwi, for all peoples of ngā haue whā, for all peoples of the four winds. Pau whenua o Te Motu. These pau were made by students, just like you, of Waiheke High School, with guidance from kaimahitoi artists of our community, support of our marae, to create these sacred symbols for us to recognise, acknowledge and protect as kaitiaki of the motu. Kia ora no. Where are we now? We're outside, kei waho, I te whare pokopoko o Waiheke, outside the library. Te tiro I te rākau nei, a tāhua ni, beautiful. I remember before this was here, the original artworks. It had a big open well. Why? Water. What are we mostly made up of? Why? Water. What is our world mostly made up of? Why? Water. There is a puna, a spring, that runs under this tree, which was replaced the well, and it runs directly down to Piritahi Marae, the waterway in front of the marae, and the other waterway runs directly down to Mātiatia. So this tree grows in its kaha from the puna o tātou mātua, ti puna o Te Motu o nei. Kia ora tātou, kei whē mātou. Where are we? We are on Mātiatia, just in front of the car park where you come to catch the ferry, a sacred space in a public place. First of all, I want you to look at your bay here, Mātiatia, as if it's a mouthpiece. Mātiatia is a grass that grows along the side of this bay. And on this side of your harbour, you have land that is the shape of the base of a waka. And on this side, you have that little island there, and it's called Muki Muki. It was a parside, and it means lonely. The name of this, the base of the waka, is Ngāti Maru land, Marutuahu of Paihauraki, and its name is Te Whetu Mata Rau. Mata is the face, Rau means 100, Whetu means stars. It means the face of 100 stars. Not only that waka faces north to Te Rerenga Wairua, and from Māori perspective, that is the last leaping point for our spirits as they pass over to return to Te Hawaiki Nui, Hawaiki Roa, Hawaiki Pāmamao. So, whetu, te kawairunga, there's your mouthpiece, the upper, the stars. Te kawairaro, a place of warfare, our pa side. Te kawairaro, the bottom jaw. Here we have the kohatu, right beside the car park at Mātiatia that you walk past every day when you come to the ferry. Here it is, to reaffirm our kōrero. He pau whakamahara tainei, mō rātou tātou tīpune tako tōna i roto i te oni. Nā reira he pānui he whakatūpato ki te katoa. Kia whakarahui tia tēnei wāhi, hei tia ki ngā koiwi au tātou tūpuna. This notice serves to remind all and remember to protect the remains of our ancestors who are buried in this area. We ask that you respect the sanctity of this sacred space. Tēnā rā koutou katoa. From this kohatu to that kohatu, as far as you can see, down there are koiwi bones lying along here. Yes, we leave it open. Yes, we have removed the tables, chairs, and so no rubbish and food applies here. And yes, you live and we live in one of the most sacred gateways of the world, Mātiatia. Te Tirui Kodai. Have you seen this? Have you noticed this? Kia hiwara, be alert. Kia tūpato, be careful. Yes, it's a burial place. It's a burial place of an ancestor of Taranaki. And his name is Ropata Te Roa. And right now, we're going to acknowledge him with a karanga. Haere tira, te rangatira, no Taranaki. Moi mai, takoto rangi Māori. I'd like to introduce you to Ropata Te Roa of Taranaki Waka, who came here after the Taranaki Wars. And he was a very clever man. He was an entrepreneur. And he ended up owning schooners, big boats that carried food supplies, that carried wood supplies to help build Auckland City. Nō reira, tēnā koe o Ropata, moi mai e te rangatira. He tohu o ngā manu, mana, a feather to acknowledge a great man in his time that came and helped grow Auckland City with many of our bountiful supplies. Te kōrero whakamutunga, the last part, this land here, in your gateway, right in front of what is now Ahi Pao, a restaurant, is where many bones lie. Okay? Yes, it's been a papakainga. Yes, there is that, but we need to remember this land too. We scanned this land with the support of the marae and the iwi, and we know where those koiwi lie here. So, ke hiwa rā, be alert, kia tūpato, be careful, be a kaitiaki, protect and look after our precious whenua. Kia ora tātou. Kia ora anō, where are we? Kei whemātau. We're at the Onotangi Sports Park, at the base of Rangihaua, Te Pūtiki o Kahumata Moimoi. Kahu being the son of Tamatiti Kapua, the captain of the Te Arawa Waka, that came here to be relashed. Rangihaua, the name Rangihaua of the mountain, means exactly that, the day of relashing. And we will show you where the Te Arawa Waka actually came in to be relashed shortly. But when they were building this, I've been here some nearly 40 years. The bulldozer or the digger drivers were well known to us. Te nui o rātou Māori, majority Māori. They came to me quite witty. They had dug up bones, koiwi, o tātou mātua tipuna. This was all farmland. And these bones, nā koiwi o tātou mātua tipuna, were reinterred on this island, right here, right beside your sports club. So once again, kahiwara, be alert. Me ke tūpato, be careful. And maumahara tō tātou nei mahi. Remember, we that live here, our job is guardianship, protection of our sacred spaces. So where are we? Kei whē mātou. We're on the Onatangi Strait. A te titero kei runga, rangi haua, te pūtiki o kahumata moimoi. Right here is where the Te Arawa Waka was relashed. You got to remember that this waterway here coming right round the base of Rangihaua was all clear, no swamplands, and many waka accessed that as a safe place for their boats from ngā waka o ngā tupuna. And right here is the spot that I've been told that the Te Arawa Waka was relashed. That's what the name Rangihaua means, the day of relashing. Kia ora. Kei whē mātou, where are we now? We are on Pukeatua, Trigg Hill Park. Look at us, on top of the world, 360-degree views around Hauraki. The lookout from old, when it was pakanga, days of war, days of Hongihika and his waka coming down our way. This was the lookout point. So we're at the top of Onatangi and Pukeatua. What does that mean? It means God's little hill. Puki, a little hill, not a maunga, not a mountain, little hill, Puki. Atua, God, God's little hill. And this particular kohatu, this rock, was placed here by James Webster. Tainui waka, hoki, he whanaunga, kia mātou. And on here are all the names that we've talked about. So, and it says, kei konei koe, you are here. Te Motu Arai Roa, the original name of Waiheke Island, meaning Te Motu, the island, or Arai, the shelter, Te Motu Arai Roa, the long sheltering bay. So it gives you directions to the islands that surround us, the house names in our school. Rā kino, what does that mean? Kino means bad. Rā is day, a bad day. Motu tapu, what does that mean? Motu, island, tapu. Rangi toto, what does that mean? Rangi, toto, blood, the day of blood. That is when Tamata Te Kapua had a fight and he, blood was shed, and he actually lies, as we told you, on Moiho, the main mountain of Hauraki. Pō nui, pō meaning night, nui meaning great. Pakatoa, paka is a group, toa, warriors, a group of warriors. Our house names of our school that you will belong to. So, sacred spaces in public places. Kei whē mātou. E Nainei, where are we? We're at Onatangi Beach. What does Onatangi mean? Oni, sand. Tangi, crying, or the whispering sands, named from a battle here in the early 1800s. What a beautiful beach, just one of many that is part of our home, Waiheke Island, Te Motu Arai Roa. Still a sacred space in a public place. Our bay of Hauraki, meaning the north winds, is very sacred and very vulnerable right now, and that it's going to take each and every one of us to make sure that people pick up their rubbish, leave a light footprint. Kia koe hoki, you also, to look after our environment, because that is guardianship, kaitiakitanga, to look after our natural resources for the future generations. So whether you're swimming, whether you're diving, whether you know people on boats, kia hiwara, be alert, kia tūpato, be careful, watch out for what is ours. Our taonga tukuiho, treasures handed down from the beginning of time. Thompson's Point, that was a major past site in its time. Do you live in Palm Beach? Palm Beach's real name is Mawhiti Pana. What does it mean? Pana, we believe, was a ferry. And if you ever go to Palm Beach on a sunny day, you will see the sun flickering in a pathway over Palm Beach. And that is Pana. Whiti whiti mai te rā, Mawhiti Pana. The sun as a fairy goddess flickering across the top of the waters. What magical, magical names and stories that come from our ancestors of Aotearoa.
Mai te hiku o te ika, o te